You're good to go.
Thank you. I'd like to call this meeting to order. The municipality of Central Elgin would like to acknowledge that we gather on the land of the McKee Purchase, the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Attawandaron or Neutrals, and the Mississauga Nation. Does any member of council have any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Our first action is adoption of the minutes. Would you read the motion, please, Mrs. Wilson?
Motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Fair, seconded by Deputy Mayor Marks, that the minutes of the regular meeting of council dated Monday, January the 10th, 2022 be adopted.
Any concerns? If not, would you call the vote, please?
Just on a note, we would note that Councillor Cook has sent her regrets this evening.
Thank you.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Kravitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
Mayor Martin.
Yes,
Resolution carries.
thank you. Correspondence requiring action. The first one is the Elgin Group Police Services Board reappointment. Would you read the motion, please, Mrs.
Yes, the motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Rowe, seconded by Councillor Wynn, that correspondence received from the Elgin Group Police Services Board dated January the 6th, 2022 regarding the board composition be received as information, and that council approved the reappointment of Mayor Sally Martyn to the Elgin Group Police Services Board until such time as the ministry approves the new board composition.
We were, just so you know, we were hoping that would be here in January, but it hasn't happened yet. So that's why we're asking for the extension until it is approved. Would you call any comments or questions from anyone? If not, would you call the vote, please?
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Kravitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
and Mayor Martin.
Yes,
Resolution carries.
thank you. Would you read the motion for the lighting bylaw request from the Guerts and Union?
The motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Deputy Mayor Marks, seconded by Councillor Rowe, that correspondence received from Guerts of Union respecting a bylaw regarding light pollution be received as information, and that staff be directed to prepare a report outlining options for outdoor illumination regulations to ensure responsible lighting, light pollution mitigation, and conservation of the dark sky environment for council's consideration.
Any questions or comments? Thank you. Would you call the vote?
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Kravitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
Mayor Martin.
Yes,
The resolution carries.
thank you. And we're now going to the correspondence for information. And we have 5 different items. Does anyone wish to speak on any one of them before we take them? Community Schools Alliance one I have seen, and I will say they're doing an excellent job, and they've been helping with our rural schools task force that we have with the Thames Valley Board. So they've been very supportive of the work we're doing, and we've learned that we are the only board in Ontario that is looking into rural schools. And now there's been a request that our chair, Arlene Morrow, and Marcus Ryan, who's on this Community School Alliance, that they go and speak before another board that are wishing to start rural school initiatives. So hopefully it will make a difference. Anyway, would you read the motion, please?
Motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Wynn, seconded by Councillor Fair, that correspondence items number 1 through 5 inclusive be received as information and filed.
Would you call the vote, please?
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Kravitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair, Councillor Fair,
Yes. Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
and Mayor Martin.
Yes,
Resolution carries.
thank you. Now we're looking at the Central Elgin Planning Office reports. And the first one is to deal with 442C West Edith Cavell Boulevard. Mr. McClure, do you have anything to add to the report, or
No, Madam Mayor, essentially through the, the applicant looking to reconstruct, as you are kind of, I guess most people are kind of aware, Port Stanley has some interesting areas where development has either crossed property lines or that. So in looking at the application, the property lines are to be adjusted to allow for the reconstruction of a cottage that was on there that was damaged by and I guess a car accident. So
Thank you. Could you read the motion, please, Mrs. Wilson?
Certainly. The motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Rowe, seconded by Councillor Wynn, that reports in EO 122, reconsent application 4426 West Edith Cavell Boulevard, applicant Chuck Wickens, Kara Deshaw, and Frederick Deshaw be received for information. And the council has no objections to consent application EO 422, subject to the following conditions. The applicant solicitor demonstrates to the satisfaction of the municipality of Central that the lot addition will not impact existing services, i.e. water, sewer, hydro, rights of ways, and or easements. The severed land be merged in title with the abutting land municipally known as 437 West Edith Cavell Boulevard, at subsection 3 or 5 of section 50 of the Planning Act RSO 1990 as amended shall apply to any subsequent conveyance or transaction involving the subject lands. The solicitor for the applicant is to provide an undertaking whereby they inform the committee in writing that the lands are being conveyed to an abutting property owner, and thus a merger of title will take place, which merger shall include all interests held inclusive or mortgagee's interest. The municipality of Central will be provided with a copy of the reference plan, and a drainage reassessment be done if necessary at the owner's expense.
Thank you, Councillor Kravitz. You had your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to just to confirm that the two east and west Edith Cavell cannot be joined, and this is in no way stopping this from happening in the future. Just wanted someone to confirm that's the case, because there is too many private properties in between the two boulevards. I don't know if someone can comment on that.
Through you, Madam Mayor, the content of this report is specifically about the consent application. I believe Mr. McClure could speak that there's a special policy area on that area in the official plan, but it would be complex at this point in time to attempt to join those two municipal highways.
Mr. McClure, do you wish to speak?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor, through you to Councillor Kravitz. The official plan does have and has identified the West Edith Cavell area as an area where the municipality can endeavor to look to do some land assembly to adjoin property, but it would be up to the municipality, I guess, at time of purchase or expropriation or that sort of thing to I guess invoke its powers to do that. At this point, what the application is merely doing is that there's two separate parcels, and it's a land adjustment or boundary adjustments to ensure that the reconstructed dwelling is all within one contained parcel of land. There's a number of easements that are currently are across the properties, which makes it difficult to relocate the I guess the destroyed cottage to a different parcel, a portion of that parcel. But as has sort of been said, this is really just a boundary adjustment. There are separate policies that would deal with the council's ability to either purchase or do something to connect at a later date.
Okay, thank you for that explanation.
Any other questions? If not, would you call the vote, Mrs. Wilson?
Councillor Rowe?
Yes.
Councillor Kravitz?
Yes.
Councillor Fair?
Yes.
Councillor Wynn?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Marks?
Yes.
And Mayor Martin?
Yes.
The resolution carries.
Thank you. And now we're looking at the Infrastructure Ontario proposed severance of the St. Thomas Psychiatric Hospital lands. Does anyone have any questions or comments for our planner from concerning the report or the information before we read the motion? Councillor Fair.
Yes, I see that they built the OPP station and the forensic unit, And they want to separate that from the lands with the psych hospital and so on. I was just thinking we'd be probably much more receptive. They seem to be trying to break out certain areas and leave the cultural heritage one in place. But maybe we could be more receptive if, while they were doing all this, they would separate the OPP station and the forensic unit and transfer the open land that's vacant between there and Fairview Ave to Central Elgin. That would make me much more receptive to approving this request. And then if that was done, it would only leave the historic sensitive area of the site in place.
I don't think there's much chance they're going to transfer all the vacant land to Central Elgin. But I understand where you're coming from. Mrs. Wilson, would you read the motion and then we can have further discussion if need be?
The motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Fair, seconded by Deputy Mayor Marks, that reports CEP 0522, Re-Infrastructure Ontario proposed severance of St. Thomas Psychiatric Hospital lands be received, and that council direct staff to advise Infrastructure Ontario that the County of Elgin Land Division Committee is the designated approval authority for severances in Elgin County, including the municipality of Central Elgin, and that Infrastructure Ontario be further advised that Central Elgin would prefer any proposed severance of St. Thomas Psychiatric Hospital lands to go through the Elgin County Land Division process in accordance with Section 53 of the Planning Act.
Any further questions or comments? If not, would you read or take the vote, please?
Councillor Rowe?
Yes.
Councillor Cravitz?
Yes.
Councillor Fair?
Yes.
Councillor Wynn?
yes,
Deputy Mayor Marks?
Yes.
And Mayor Martin.
Yes,
The resolution carries.
thank you. And the next one is under the Chief Administrative Officer's report on the Thames Valley District School Board trustee distribution for the following this next election. Or it would include the election, obviously. Questions or comments on this one before I have Mrs. Wilson read the motion? This is a very important one. London School Board, the London area are looking very hard at trying to get a seventh London member on, which would then give the city control of the school board completely. Even if they left the 6 rural ones, they would still have an extra one in the city, but they're proposing to reduce Middlesex by 1. And I feel very strongly, I know we all do, that this is wrong. And so I believe every municipality in Elgin County will likely be supporting this. Councillor Marks.
You're absolutely
Sorry,
right.
Deputy Mayor.
This is actually, it's almost insulting. So yeah, I urge everyone, let's get on board with this. Rural kids matter too. I've actually, as you have for the last 15 years, it's actually pretty, they just don't get it. And this is an insult. So I'd urge everyone to support this.
Any other questions or comments? If not, would you read the motion, please?
The motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Wynn, seconded by Deputy Mayor Marks, that report CO 6622, Thames Valley District School Board trustee distribution for 2022 to 2026 be received for information, and that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Central Elgin support the designation of Middlesex County by board resolution as a low population municipality, and that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Central Elgin support the following Thames Valley District School Board trustee distribution for the 2022 to 2026 term. 2 trustees representing Middlesex County, 2 trustees representing Oxford County, 2 trustees representing Elgin County, 6 trustees representing the City of London, 1 Indigenous trustee appointed per Ontario Regulation 46297. And that the Mayor of the Municipality of Central Elgin said, send advocacy letters to ensure equitable representation that balances the rural interests with the geography of Thames Valley District School Board to the Minister of Education, the Honorable Stephen Lisi, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Honorable Stephen Clark, and Elgin County London MPP Jeff Urick, and that the same letter be sent to Thames Valley District School Board Trustee Cherry Laurie Pizzolato and the Director of Education Mark Fisher, requesting that a copy of this motion and letter be considered as correspondence at the next Board of Trustees meeting prior to the board's decision with respect to the composition of the 2022 to 2026 Board of Trustees.
Thank you. Would you call the vote, please?
Counselor Rowe,
yes,
Counselor Cravitz,
yes,
Counselor Fair,
yes,
Counselor Wynn,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Marks,
yes,
and Mayor Martin.
Yes.
Resolution carries.
Thank you. Now we're at the Director of Infrastructure and Community Services reports, and these are all on our water systems in Central Elgin. And so the first one is the report for the Belmont Water System, Central Elgin Water Distribution System. The inspection is the first one. And I mean, we are so lucky in Central Elgin. Our staff have done such a phenomenal job. And this is very important for us as counselors to know this, because we are personally liable if there is an incident with our water. So it's very important that we see what our staff are doing and read these reports. So if you would read the motion for the first report.
Motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Counselor Rowe, seconded by Counselor Fair, that report ICS 0122, read 2021 Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks inspection reports for the Belmont Water System and Central Elgin Distribution System be received as information, and that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Central Elgin approve the 2021 Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks inspection reports for the Belmont Water System and the Central Elgin Distribution System.
Any questions or comments? If you would relay to staff our appreciation, Mr. Perrin, we are very appreciative of the great results they're getting. Mr. Brooks, I'm sorry, not Mr. Perrin. I've got the wrong one. Thank you. Call the vote then, please.
Counselor Rowe,
yes,
Counselor Cravitz,
yes,
Counselor Fair,
yes,
Counselor Wynn,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Marks,
yes,
and Mayor Martin.
Yes,
The resolution carries.
thank you. And now on the management review. The motion.
Next motion, Madam Mayor, moved by Deputy Mayor Marks, seconded by Counselor Rowe, that report ICS 0222, read DWQMS management review be received as information, and that the Council of the Municipality of Central Elgin accept the drinking water quality management system management review minutes.
I found that one very interesting, and to see the great detail and how carefully they look at everything. So Councillor Fair, you wish to speak.
yes, I was also surprised about the detail, and I find it a little irritating that they basically negatively say that you're okay. They never really say, yes, great job, or you've done a good job. They just sort of say, yeah, it's all right, it's acceptable. You'd think that they could give us a little more reinforcement instead of such a negative yes.
Thank you. Well, I think staff have done a phenomenal job, and I very much appreciate the detail in the report. Would you call the vote then, Mrs. Wilson?
Counselor Rowe,
yes,
Counselor Cravitz,
yes,
Counselor Fair,
Yes,
Counselor Wynn,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Marks,
yes,
and Mayor Martin.
Yes,
Resolution carries.
thank you. And then the final one on the water system, the infrastructure review. Read the motion, please.
Motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Counselor Wynn, seconded by Counselor Fair, that report ICS 03-2022, read DWQMS infrastructure review be received as information, and that the Council of the Municipality of Central Elgin accept the drinking water quality management system infrastructure review report.
Thank you. And I very much appreciated the chart telling us exactly what infrastructure they are going to need for sure to be dealing with, or costs, engineering costs, et cetera. That really helped us in planning for the next few years. Any other comments or questions? Councillor Fair.
I was just going to say 2024 looks a little scary.
Yeah. That's true. Would you call the vote, please?
Counselor Rowe,
yes,
Counselor Cravitz,
yes,
Counselor Fair,
Yes,
Counselor Wynn,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Marks, Deputy Mayor Marks? You're muted.
That's what I was gonna say, wave or something.
Mayor Martin,
Yes,
resolution carries.
thank you. Now the Director of Financial Services Treasurer, and the first one is the supply and installation of the municipal parking meters. Questions or comments on this one before we read the motion? Councillor Kravitz.
The only question I have is the four temporary 15-minute spots. Where is the location, the proposed location for those 4 spots? At the ones at the pharmacy parking lot, the other ones at the visitor center?
Mr. Perrin?
Through you, Madam Mayor. So there would be 4 spots in each parking lot. So in the visitor parking lot, there would be 4, given the public washrooms in the visitor center. There would be 4 courtesy 15-minute parking spots in, we'll say, the pharmacy parking lot. So if someone wanted to run into the pharmacy, run into the hardware store or another store to get, a coffee, whatever, it's 15 minutes. And then on the Little Beach, we have public portable washrooms there, so there'd be 15-minute spots there as well.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to confirm that there would be 4 at the pharmacy. I had somebody ask me about that location. Thank you.
I was asking about that as well, and I very much appreciate the fact that there will be, because a lot of people just slip into the pharmacy and out. Councillor Rowe?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to add on to that, the few spots in the pharmacy parking lot that are designated for the pharmacy, are they remaining? I believe there's 2 to the east end, at the east end.
Those those parking spaces are actually on property owned by the pharmacy.
Okay, so they will remain. That was the confirmation. Okay. And I have a follow-up, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Just as a comment, I've had a couple of residents, not that many, but a couple that feel strongly that residents should have free parking in the area. There are so many different viewpoints on how to manage this across the province or even just the county. So it was very hard. I struggled with what the right thing to do here was, but given that this is about the parking meters themselves and installing them in these locations, I have no issue with that. I did just want to clarify that, though, for anyone listening, that there are seasonal passes that people can buy for $100. So effectively, you would get 4 months out of the season free if you're a resident or even a tourist. It doesn't matter. So there still is the opportunity to support the businesses downtown, support the local entrepreneurs and so on, without feeling that you're having to pay every time you go. So unless there are others on council that are in favor of potentially offering residents free parking, that resolution could perhaps come up at a later date.
Thank you. Go ahead, Deputy Mayor Marks. You got unmuted, I think.
I did finally. Thank you. I'd like to, I keep reminding myself, I've heard complaints and I respect those opinions. But I also hear many, many times that our taxes are the highest in the world, et cetera. This is our biggest show. I think this is going to result, this is the reason we kept our tax rate lowered this year. I think it's going to benefit. To me, this just makes so much sense. I know we won't please everyone, but that's not our job. I think we'll adapt to it. I think it's a good business decision.
And I think they need to realize too, that this is 5 months of the year. There's 7 months of the year, it's it won't be charged. Because the parking is only from May 1st to September 30th, the parking charges. So local residents will still have 7 months where there's no charge. And I think the 15-minute ones will really help with local ones who are just running down for something quick as well. One question I would have, Mr. Perrin, is will the doctors' parking spaces, will they be still provided for the doctors for free, or will they be having to pay for those?
Madam Mayor, we want to look at their lease agreement. I don't believe there is parking spots assigned in the existing lease agreement, so we'll have to verify that and report back.
Thank you. Mrs. Wilson, would you read the motion, please?
Yeah, the motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Deputy Mayor Marks, seconded by Councillor Rowe, that report DFS 0322, re-request for proposals 2021-29, supply and installation of municipal parking meters be received as information. And that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Central accept a proposal of Precise ParkLink Inc. for 2021-29 supply and installation of municipal parking meters in the amount of $125,762 plus all applicable taxes.
Thank you. I know one person, just one other comment, was asking to Garrett, making sure that on-street parking is still free. Something we might consider in the future would be a shortened time, free on-street parking, but for a certain length of time during that season, which would allow then more of a turnover. I don't know, but that's nothing to do with tonight. So if you would call the vote, please.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Cravitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wins,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
Mayor Martin.
Yes,
The resolution carries.
thank you. And now on to the pad and drain. Would you read the motion, please?
Motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Wynn, seconded by Councillor Fair, that report DFS 0422, re-request for tenders 2021-34 pad and drain be received as information, and that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Central Elgin accept the tender of Robinson Farm Drainage Limited for 2021-34 pad and drain in the amount of $120,400 plus all applicable taxes.
Any questions? If not, call the vote, please.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Cravitz,
Yes. Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
and Mayor Martin.
Yes,
The resolution carries.
thank you. And now bylaws, we just have a bylaw with it, 2682, which is what we discussed previously. So I'm going to ask you to read, does anyone have any questions on this bylaw? Councillor Fair.
I think it's a great idea to finally get some rate of return on even our short-term funds that we're sitting on. But I was trying to find a spot where I could see what kind of performance Chums has, and I couldn't seem to find it. If someone could send me a link so I could see what kind of investment performances they've got over the last number of years. Maybe my research just wasn't good, but I couldn't find it. But I'm wholly in favor of doing this.
Archana, if you would like to speak to that.
Yes, Madam Mayor, to you, I will certainly be happy to send this. I'll send you the most updated once I have the agreement with Chums, because they have something available on their website. However, what exactly we'll be getting, that will be under the contract. So I'll share that with you as soon as I happen to get that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, would you read the motion on the bylaw?
Motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Rowe, seconded by Councillor Fair, that bylaw 2682 be read a first and a second time.
Call the vote.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Cravitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
and Mayor Martin.
Yes,
Resolution carries.
thank you. Now we have a notice of motion or motion.
Madam Mayor.
I'm sorry. Third reading on the bylaw. Yep. Pardon me.
Motion reads, moved by Councillor Fair, seconded by Deputy Mayor Marks, that bylaw 2682 be read a third time and finally passed.
Call the vote, please.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Cravitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Marks,
yes,
and Mayor Martin.
Yes.
The resolution carries.
Thank you. Now we're moving on to the notice of surplus lands, the Dominion of Canada building. Would you read that motion, please?
Madam Mayor, there's no.
There's no motion. It's a notice of motion. Yes. Sorry, that is a notice of motion. Anyone have any questions? Councillor Fair.
Yes, I was just wondering, I see now we're looking at getting into a lease to own. And I realize Councillor Rowe did ask in the past about down the road if the people would want to dispose of, if we'd have any first right of refusal or anything. I'm just wondering, where does that come in for conditions of this for future disposal? If we can put some conditions in there or something so that, you know, it would stop them from just buying it, taking it over and selling it commercially with us not having any input from Central Elgin.
This is strictly declaring the land surplus is all that we're doing here. To allow this other, I would assume, Mr. Shipway, that there will be other things that we can put in once an agreement is being reached.
Through you, Madam Mayor, this is just to satisfy the sale and disposition of land bylaw in accordance with previous direction of council through the official plan amendment for this scenario. Once that's complete and at a future meeting of council, council may consider those other things that have been referenced previously.
Okay. Would you call the vote, please?
There's no.
I'm sorry, there's no vote. We're done with that one. Okay. AMO joint and several liability. Is that just notice? Yes,
There's a motion.
there's a motion. It's all right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Attach the agenda, I'll read it.
Do you want me to read it? Yeah, sure. Through Madam Mayor, the proposed resolution reads as follows. Whereas municipal governments provide essential services to the residents and businesses in their communities, and whereas surging insurance costs have a negative impact on the ability to provide those services, and whereas one driver of rising insurance costs is the legal principle of joint and several liability, which assigns disproportionate liability to municipalities for an incident relative to their responsibility for it. And whereas the government of Ontario has the authority and responsibility for the legal framework of joint and several liability. And whereas the Premier of Ontario committed to review the issue in 2018 with a view to helping municipal governments manage their risks and costs. And whereas the Association of Municipalities of Ontario on behalf of municipal governments submitted towards a reasonable balance addressing growing municipal liability and insurance costs in October 2019 that provides a municipal argument to find a balance to the issues and challenges presented by joint and several liability, including implementing full proportionate liability and a cap on economic loss awards as part of 7 straightforward recommendations for actions to deal with this problem. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Central Elgin does hereby support AMO's recommendations, and further be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Central Elgin does hereby call on the Attorney General of Ontario to work with municipal governments to put forward a plan of action to address joint and several liability before the end of the government's current terms, so that municipalities can continue to offer high quality services to their communities.
Thank you, Mr. Shipway. It's an excellent motion and something we've been very concerned about for a long time. Would you call the vote then, please?
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Cravitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Marks,
yes.
and Mayor Martin.
Yes,
Resolution carries.
thank you. Does anyone have any other business that should be brought up or announcements? Councillor Fair?
I just wanted to note that the snow plowing has been going pretty well, and just when I left my place on Centennial, the snow has been coming down really, really heavy all day. and they already had Centennial wide open, plowed properly, including the sidewalk. Very good.
Thank you. I said, I hope that they've gone down Sparta line one more time before I have to go home. They have been, it's been a tough, both snowstorms have been tough because they've come down heavily. No other business, and a motion to move into close.
Sorry, just with us, I'd like to just thank our road operators for the job that they have done. They've done a wonderful job. I know there's, 400 plus kilometers of roads that we have to clear, and I had a few people call about lane or sidewalks, and we are getting around to them. I think we're doing a wonderful job. So Jeff, I'd like to pass on my thanks to our roads crew. Thank you.
I agree. And Jeff has been very good at responding to all the complaints that I have received and forwarded on to him. He has responded very well to every one of those. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you, and I will pass on those thanks to our road staff. They've had a long 7 or 8 days here, so.
Yes. Motion to move into closed.
Motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Fair, seconded by Deputy Mayor Marks. Council proceed into closed session at 7:36 p.m. in order to address the matter pertaining to a position plan criteria or instruction to be applied to any negotiations carried on or to be carried on by or on behalf of the municipality or local board.
Call the vote, please.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Krebitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
Mayor Martin.
Yes.
Resolution carries.
Thank you. We'll just give Diane a chance to close the doors. And Paul a chance to take us from live.
We are live.
Okay, we have just come out of closed session, so we have a motion then. Mrs. Wilson, from closed session item.
The motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Fair, seconded by Deputy Mayor Marks, that confidential closed session item number 2 be received as information and that staff proceed as directed by council.
Okay, call the vote, please.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Krebitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
Mayor Martin.
Yes,
Resolution carries.
thank you. And we have now one other bylaw, our confirmatory bylaw.
Motion reads, Madam Mayor, moved by Councillor Fair, seconded by Councillor Wynn, that bylaw 2683 be read a first and a second time.
Call the vote.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Krebitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
Yes.
Mayor Marks,
Yes.
and Mayor Martin.
Yes,
Resolution carries.
thank you. And the
Last-
second motion on that.
Last motion on the bylaw, moved by Councillor Rowe, seconded by Councillor Fair, that bylaw 2683 be read a third time and finally passed.
Call the vote.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Krebitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
Mayor Martin.
Yes,
Resolution carries.
thank you. Okay, final motion.
Okay, motion reads. Moved by Councillor Wynn, seconded by Deputy Mayor Marks, that the regular meeting of council dated Monday, January the 24th, 2022 be adjourned at 7:47 p.m. and the next regular meeting of council be scheduled for Monday, February the 14th, 2022 at 7 p.m.
Call the vote.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
Councillor Krebitz,
Yes.
Councillor Fair,
Yes.
Councillor Wynn,
Yes.
Mayor Marks,
Yes.
and Mayor Martin.
Yes,
Resolution carries.
just how we want to spend Valentine's Day at a council meeting. Thank you, and have a safe trip home, Bill, from your office.
Thank you. Same to you.
Yes, all of you travel safe tonight.